Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to go over a few things. We're getting ready to be like in that middle of spring here in the state of Indiana, and I just wanted to go over a few things with you guys to help you guys understand everything that I've picked up in the past 3 years while fishing on the channel. So, without further ado, let's jump into this and let's go into it deep in depth with what I've been catching, all the giants you guys have seen me land out here in Indiana, all the dinks. It's just been a crazy process, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but we definitely got to talk about this, man, because it's been crazy, it's been expensive, it's been frustrating, but it's been an incredible journey starting out on YouTube and doing all the stuff that I do and learning all the stuff that I've learned. And I keep getting question after question, like, what do you use? And I keep telling people, if you don't watch my videos, start watching my videos. Learn something that you can learn from me. There's so many anglers out there that are teaching you guys how to fish. I really like what I learn and what I take away from bass fishing when I'm out there on the water. So I want to break this down real quick for you guys so you guys can understand my summertime techniques, the baits I'm going to be using, stuff like that, the winter time, and also getting away with these cloudy condition days. So let's jump into it right now. Come on. Time and again, I've heard you guys ask me on the channel, why do you throw this? Why do you throw that? Why are you using it this time in the morning? Why aren't you using it later on in the evening? Or you need to try this, or you need to try that. And the truth is that there's so many correct ways to do everything that will save you guys a ton of money and not be like me where I spent years buying and buying and buying and buying and buying this and that, trying to figure it all out. You bring the simplicity and the normality back into bass fishing. You got to remember one thing. Look around you. If you guys don't understand when I say look around you, and I mean that, look around you. Look at your foliage. Look at everything around you. The grass, the trees, the rocks, the mud, the color of the water, if it's stained, if it's overcast, cloudy days like today. Look at these conditions and break it down in your minds and understand, if it's dark, I want to throw something that's going to be able to be seen or be heard. I want vibration. I want flash. If it's sunny out, I want something that's going to be a little bit more finessey. It's in its actual natural habitat. Yes, it sucks that I had to go through thousands of dollars and, years of doing reconnaissance on bass fishing and all the YouTubers that I've watched. But it also got me to the place I'm at today where I go out on the water and I have a great time and I catch fish. Now, I'm chasing a monster fish across the state of Indiana, and everybody knows that. And I'm hunting this giant, and that's my whole goal on my channel, is to hunt down this big old state record. So I have to have baits that are going to do that for me. So when I talk about learning, and I mean this, look at all this pile of stuff. Okay, I probably have about $5,000, no lie, just in tackle inside of this bag right here. I carry so many different name brands, so many different companies, so much stuff that I carry. And I want to break it down for you guys so you guys can keep it kind of easy here, man. People don't understand, how simple this really can be. Coming into February, March, April, I was getting away with throwing the big white fluke with the chartreuse tail on it. And this is a Zoom Super Salt Fluke White Pearl Chartreuse color. And I had that paired up on a white spinner bait. Nothing special, nothing fancy, not a certain brand, just a $1 spinner bait. And I was really killing them on this setup. I had the spinner bait with one of these as a trailer, and then when I get around water that's a little bit cleaner and it's also cloud cover in the sky, I want to go a little bit more translucent. So Kitech did its thing, came out with the trailers for your spinner baits. Now, yes, this has a paddle tail on it. No, this does not have a paddle tail on it. But when those water conditions were in February, March, this white on the white spinner bait with the green excelled. It did a great job, an incredible job, when I used that same color for swim jig. And also using a swim jig, I moved to the white chatterbait with the white trailer with the chartreuse green, and I still kept getting bit. So coming into that colder start of the year, the white and the green did it for me here in Indiana. It really did it. Now, the thing that's confusing is that we can still get away with throwing white baits in the summertime, even if it's not cloud cover, even if it's hot and it's sunny. you can get away with throwing a spinnerbait damn near anywhere, and a spinnerbait just excels. A chatterbait does its thing, but a spinnerbait also does put in the work, and you can really get away with it. Like days like today, where you see this clouds the way they are, it's kind of dark, but it is warm, and it's got a little bit of wind. I don't know if you can see the wind. Yeah, you can see it. You could get away with throwing this spinnerbait today. Now, I don't know if they're going to want this full-size paddle tail presentation, or if they're going to want the white with the chartreuse green with a little less action. I don't know that. Okay, now, if you want to throw a different colored spinnerbait, the sun's up, it's hot, but you got rain, and it's one of those warm, rainy days, and you think you can get away with it because you got some chop, you can get you a spinnerbait that matches that green pumpkin color, made by like Guggen Squad or somebody. You can get away with throwing that green pumpkin spinnerbait and still use a fluke just like the white one. This one has green pumpkin watermelon seed flake in it. And you can use this as a trailer. You can use so many different things to mimic what you want to be a spinnerbait trailer. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can add as you go along. But really, it's about keeping to the color, like the whites and the chartreuses and the green pumpkins and your purples, like peanut butter and jelly has been a very popular thing out here in Indiana. It's been an incredible, incredible thing for me in Indiana. And I've been loving it, you know, like that we're getting into that warmer temps where I can get away with throwing a topwater frog. Of course I got brown. Of course I've got green. A lot of people argue you have to have black or you have to have white or the frog don't work. That's not true. I have caught millions of largemouth and spotted on just brown frogs. Brown, black, white, green, lime green, yellow. If that bass sees that toad 9 times out of 10, he's going to jump through that stuff and he's going to grab them. Crush City from Rapala come out with the hedgehog. Incredible, incredible soft plastic. This is watermelon red color, made by Crush City Customs, and that's a Rapala bait. And this has been an incredible lure to Texas rig and even throw as a chatterbait trailer. I know you guys are probably thinking, you throw a hedgehog made by Rapala Crush City in that color on a chatterbait? Yes, I do. And also a swim jig. And I also catch fish on it. It's about matching that hatch and being with that color. When you see and hear these guys talk, they're not just talking out of their necks, okay? They're breaking it down for you guys to understand what these fish eat, what is common to them, what is a threat. Like right now, fish are bedding. Well, they're coming into that spawn where the fish are on beds. They're very protective of the beds. And the main baits that they're not going to like are bluegill. When I say bluegill, I mean like this Hack Attack Strike King swim jig. This is a bluegill color. All right. Now you see them purples and them oranges and them grays and greens and kind of black and green pumpkin with the orange and the eyes. Has a blue Christie Yum Craw on there. Okay. This thing is a weapon. This thing swims so perfectly. This is what we call Strike King Hack Attack Swim Jig and 3/8 ounce. Now, I like throwing a 3/8 ounce swim jig. As you can tell, I got tons of them set up the way I like them. And this has a blue Christie craw on it. Now, I've been bit on this, and I've also been bit on the same exact thing with a Rage Tail Menace presentation style green pumpkin black flake trailer. So seen some videos on it. Definitely excels when the water heats up and you can actually start really working your swim jig back to you and throwing it up into that grass or that matted vegetation, getting around them pads that are kind of open up, or even I could pitch this thing into pockets and get bit on a swim jig. And the bluegill swim jig is going to be my #1. It's going to be my go-to because we live here. Look at all the stuff around you. Everything's green, blue, black, purple. So when you live in a swamp or you live somewhere like that where the bluegill are the more active fish here, we don't have like huge threadfin shad and stuff like that, then you want to start throwing the baits that are going to match that. Now, when you look at this, this has a fluke on it. Yes, a lot of people will probably argue with me about this, but I did put one of the green red watermelon seed zoom flukes on the swim jig, and this thing just straight gets bit. It's the tail presentation. So if you got claws, or real claws to the crawl, it gives it a lot more kicking action. This one right here gives it like a subtle, attractive action. I feel like the way it comes through the water's like a more subtle action. And then this one right here, it has a different kind of action. It's just, you know, if I want to move this and I want to swim it and it falls, I can lift this up off the bottom and work it just like a jig. It is a jig. It's just a swim jig. So I can actually work this up on the bottom, get bit when it's moving like that on the bottom of the water column, and I will get a lot of bites and a lot of strikes because of that. So instead of just bringing it straight back or swimming it the way I swim a swim jig. Everything's different. I like to throw out the presentation and give it to them 3 or 4 different ways to figure out what they're going to eat and what they're going to bite. And whatever they bite and whatever they eat, well, that's what I'm throwing. And I set the other stuff down until another day turns and everything changes and you have to change with it. But really breaking it down, guys, so you understand, is swim jigs with blue and black crawl, swim jig with the green and watermelon seed hack attack. Then you got another one, but it's got the Rage Tail Menace on there. And then also getting crawls like this. I like colors like this that I can add to certain things. Like if we pick this up right now, we also have a chatterbait. As I said, green. You see that? This is an original chatterbait. And that's got that green color. It's all green pumpkin, right? I have caught so many fish on peanut butter and jelly that I had a custom peanut butter and jelly chatterbait made for myself. And as you can tell, this is in peanut butter jelly color. And I also added a different colored Rage Tail crawl to it. So this is an incredible, incredible presentation. Over here I have a blue and black swim jig. Now, blue and black works a lot. But throwing this thing in that stained water, your normal water, where it's kind of dirty, it's hot, trust me, you can swim this thing pretty slow across the bottom, and you can get big bites off this blue and black Strike King Hack Attack swim jig. And that goes in play with the bluegill. So no matter what the day looks like is depending on what color I'm going to throw. Also, if there's days like I need to throw white, I can go and get a white swim jig and do the exact same thing that I'm breaking down for you guys in this video. It's just about colors and what they're going to bite and what they're going to like and keeping it simple. There's no reason to go, spend a ton of money if you don't know what you're doing. So this video is hopefully going to teach you guys exactly what you need to get. You can get football jigs. This is a little black and blue one. This thing's been destroyed. Bigger, heavier football jigs. Skipping jigs. Really like to get black and blue jigs, and I also like to have, the green jig. So the green jig to me is money, and so is black and blue, and also peanut butter and jelly color, which would be that color right there. Now, like on windy days when they're eating blue and black, I can get away with getting a little flash with the Egg Zone Lures Swimmer with that owner hook. It's got a Swimmer on there made by Egg Zone Lures, and you can change the color of this no matter what. I like to use, like I said, white and green. I like to use this bluish color. When I throw a wacky rig, like on my worms in the summertime, I like to use these Berkley 1/16 ounce fusion hooks. Okay, these are weighted. You see this weight right here? That gives that wacky rig a lot more action than just throwing it weightless. Throwing this weighted wacky hook made by Berkley Fusion right here is incredible. It just gives that worm a lot more whoop, whoop, whoop presentation when you're throwing it in the water. And you can get away with it. I like doing it. I used to throw nothing but, what do you call them? Let me see. Just the octopus hook. Your basic wacky rig hook, drop shot hook. No, drop shot's a little bit smaller, but the wacky rig hook. And I've caught a lot of fish doing it without weight, but it takes forever for the thing to fall. And a lot of times when I get around like pads and stuff like that, or laydowns and stuff like that, I want that thing to get in there and I want to be able to get it back up. And I also want to give it the action that it truly deserves when fishing a worm, whether it's a wacky rig, a Texas rig, anything like that. So that's basically what I like to use. Different crawls, like net bait here makes a great crawl. Okay, this is the Paca Slim 4. made by Net Bait, and this bait right here in this color is incredible. Everything that you see sitting here is already getting rigged up right now. As you can tell, my rods are getting going on for what we're about to get into this summer. I'm chasing a state record fish. I've got to have stuff that's going to work for me in my area, and it's taken me years to figure it out. So hopefully you guys will use this informational video that I shot for you guys today. You guys will kind of understand what I'm throwing. Make sure you guys are smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are following me on Facebook. I'm no longer on TikTok. I will not use TikTok for any reason. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So make sure you guys are following me on those platforms. Stay along for the journey. Learn something as you guys go along. There's so much information that I'm trying to pack in here so you guys can obtain that information and go out and make a fishing trip a blast, or a day that you guys can always remember, and your kids can too. So really love you guys. I appreciate all the support. Numbers have been climbing good. Things are going good at home. Life's great. I'm still breathing, and God's been good, man. So without further ado, I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna go catch some fish. So love you guys, and I'll see you out on the water. Later.